Hi, in this video we will see how to install the sample database which is called Sakila using our MySQL Workbench. It is very simple and straightforward. So just keep watching, and by the end of this video you will learn how to import or install this Sakila database to your MySQL database using MySQL Workbench. Before installing or importing this database, at first we need to download this thing. We just need to google.com using any browser, and then we have to search Sakila database MySQL, and you will find this type of link, Sakila sample database. We have to go there to download the database. So I am going to download the database, the sample Sakila database from MySQL, this link. So I just clicked over there, and now I will go to the download page of MySQL site. So if you scroll down a little bit, you will see there are a couple of options are there, like 1, 2, 3, in this way they are marked. So there is the fourth option, it is called installation. We just need to go to the installation link. So I'm going to access the installation location to see where is the actual database. So here in this page you will find all the installation related stuff, and there is one link at the beginning of the first paragraph of installation. We just need to go there to get the actual database. So this is the actual link of database, and there are pretty description or something like that is there. You can actually check. If you want to install differently, you can also check. So I'm going to that link, and here if we scroll down a little bit, we'll find all the sample database table list. So here one of the option is called example databases, and under examples database there is Sakila database, and we are seeing it is here, and there is two format. One is zip format, and there is TGZ, this format. Okay, and then view link. So I'm going to download the zip version of this sample database. So here we just need to click on top of the zip link, and then it will ask us where we want to download. So I just click there, and very shortly it will asking like this. We just need to click on the save button to save it locally, and once we click the save button, it will start saving to our local drive like this. Okay, for my case it is showing like here is the download, and it is complete. Once the download is finished, then let's go to the downloads location to check whether it is really downloaded or not. So I'm going to open the downloads folder to check whether it is there or not, and then we'll extract. So here we are seeing this is downloads, and this is the file, the zip file which we downloaded. Okay, and we need to extract. To extract it, we can double click, or we can click on open, then it will extract automatically if you have installed already unzip software. Now I am going to open this folder and to check what is there. So here there are two SQL file and on some other file. Okay, so both of the files extension is SQL, and if you check carefully, the file name is one is schema, like Sakila schema, and the number 2 file is Sakila data. That means the first one is the schema and second one is the data. So we need both of the files to install or to add those database to our MySQL database. Okay, so we will start from the schema first, and then we will go for data part. So I'm going to minimize this thing, and now going to open MySQL Workbench. So here we are seeing MySQL Workbench app is there. I just clicked over there, and it will open MySQL Workbench shortly. So this is the home page of MySQL Workbench after we opened. At first we need to connect MySQL Workbench with the local server. My local server is already running, so I'm just going to double click here, and very soon it will connect with this server. So see, once you double click, it will ask you the root username and password. So I'm typing the password for root. Okay, so by default generally the password is like root. Okay, username is root and password also is root, unless you change it or not, and that is the service URL. Then just click on OK button to connect to that. Okay, if your password and username is correct, then you will find this type of window where you will find this type of two options. One is schema and another is administration. So I'm going to hit the schema tab, and then once we hit schema tab, then we'll find all the schemas, and from the top menu we have to choose server, and from here we'll find couple of options like data export, data import, something like that. But our goal was to import the data, right? So I'm choosing data import, and from here what we have to do, we have to choose this option, import from cell content file. When you will come to this window, by default it will actually selected, it will be selected at the top menu like import from dump project folder, but we will not use that option. We will use the bottom option, that means the import from self content file, because we already have SQL file which is the schema of this database. So to link that thing, we have to choose this option, import from self content file, and here we have to click this thing, and from there we have to choose the location. So I'm going to hit this dot button, because this is not the correct path where our SQL file is there. So once we click there, then it will pop up the window, and from here we have to choose the downloads, and then we have to go to the database download location. So here is the database, Sakila DB2. Then here we are seeing those two things, schema and data. So we have to start from the schema first, and then later we will go to the data part. So I'm going to select the schema from this window, and then after that we have to click the open button. So once we click the open button, then it will be linked to the MySQL Workbench import that radio button. Okay, so here you are seeing now this is the correct part, right? So if this is correct part, then what we can do, we can go forward the next step. So what we can do, we can go to the next step by clicking this button. So once we click this start button, it will start importing that schema in our database. It will create database also. So let's see, I'm going to click it here, and then you will see that it is doing its job, and it is showing that it is imported. Right here we are seeing on, off, on, imported, and there is some message also, import complete. Okay, and there are a couple of descriptions lines also. Okay, so we are not interested anymore of this page. Now let's start downloading, importing that data for this database. Okay, but how can we check what is the database? Right now in the left side, in under the schemas, we are not seeing the database, right? So what we have to do, we have to refresh these panels. If we refresh, then it will be visible. So I'm going to click this refresh icon. Once I hit the refresh icon, then we'll see there is a database, right? The Sakila DB, that on Sakila. Okay, so that means the schema of this database is already like installed, right? And if we expand, then we'll see all the tables. There are a couple of tables like city. If you want to right click, and if we try to check what are the values are there, we'll find empty, because till now there is no data. We just imported the schema, right? So now let's import the data. So to import the data, what we can do, we can follow the same procedure, or before going to that, I am going to choose this database as default database, default schema. Okay, so what I did, I just right click on top of the database name, and from here we will find couple of options. So my goal is to choose as a default schema. So right click, and then we have to choose set as default schema. So once we click there, then this database will be selected as a default schema. Okay, so now once the default schema is set up correctly, then we will see that it will be bold. Okay, now let's import the database. So once we make this database as default schema, then we are ready to import our data inside this database. So I just click the server, and from here again we are seeing data import, data export. So we are going to import. So I'm choosing this data import. We can do that, but I will do different way. I'm going to click file and then open SQL script. Okay, because we already selected database as our default, and now from here we have to choose the script location. Okay, so I'm going to choose that SQL Sakila data. This is the actually the data for our database. So I'm going to select this thing, and after selecting this thing, we just need to open this SQL inside this workbench. So I just clicked open, and then it will open here. And if we scroll down a little bit, we'll see there are many data are there. Okay, so here are the table or something like that. Everything is there, which are actually these all data will be imported there. So we need to import. So to import, we need to click this button. Okay, once we start clicking this, then it will start importing that thing, and after that we'll get the confirmation that all imported is successful. So there are a lot of data are there. So if you scroll down, you will see there are a lot. Okay, and once the import is done, then just choose any table and right click to check whether there is data or not. I just did that, and I see there are many data are there. Okay, so these all are the data, okay, which we imported by running the SQL. So what we did at the beginning, we imported the schema, and later on top of the schema we imported all the data by using the SQL query. And here we did two different ways, but you can do both same ways also. Like you can create a dummy schema first, and then after that you can do this thing. But this is easier for me, but there are many other ways you can also do. So I just showed you on a way to do this. Now let's run on script, I mean very simple script, I mean some SQL to test whether it is working properly or not. So I'm going to check all the city name from this table. So we are seeing here there is city, so I'm writing the query select asterisk from city. Oh, I mistyped the from, so I fixed it, and then after that I'm going to hit this thing, and we are seeing all the city information is there. I mean the city table information is visible over there. So that's all guys. In this way we can easily import the data schema and database for Sakila. Hopefully you will enjoy this video, and by watching this video you are able to do this thing. And if this video is helpful, please consider subscribing to our channel and hit the like button of this video. Thank you for watching.